My name is Fred Newville and I'm the chef and owner of Fat Hen, and today what we are going to prepare for you is our grouper dish over local succotash topped with a beurre blanc sauce. What we have to do first to get started is our beurre blanc sauce. And so here are our ingredients. We have shallots, white wine, fresh tarragon, lemon juice, and then softened butter. And if I didn't say heavy cream, heavy cream. The heavy cream acts as a stabilizer so that the sauce remains emulsified. So what we're going to do is we're going to just take our shallots, going to put them in our pot, take our white wine, our tarragon, and our lemon juice. Okay? And then we're just going to put them on the fire, and we're going to reduce the white wine down by half. And what that means is we're getting rid of all the alcohol flavor so that it doesn't taste like white wine. When picking fish, you want to make sure that the flesh is firm and that the aroma is clean, and that is a perfect piece of grouper. It smells fresh, doesn't smell fishy, it's very firm, and there's no slime on it at all, okay? So what we're going to do is we're just going to season our grouper with some salt. Now that our pan is nice and hot, what we're going to do is we're going to add our olive oil, just enough to coat the bottom of the pan. You see how that is smoking? That's what you want. Okay? Now we're going to add our seasoned piece of grouper. We're going to sear it on one side, like I said. And that's the sound that you want to hear. You want to hear that sizzle. That means your pan is hot enough. Check the sear. So you've got a little ways to go, but you see how that's getting color in it? Now while we're waiting on that to sear, I've added my heavy cream to my reduction for my beurre blanc. And you can make this sauce with red wine. You can do a beurre rouge, which was great with steak. You can do it with like apple cider vinegar. It's the only limitation in this sauce is your imagination. You can use garlic instead of shallots. You can use any type of herb that you want. Now I flipped the fish, okay? Now I'm gonna put a piece of butter paper on there. And yes, it's just the butter right off the paper, right off the butter. And we're gonna put that on top of the fish, and what that'll do is that'll help keep it moist while it cooks in the oven. So I've added my cream to my beurre blanc, and now what we're going to do is we're going to add the whole softened butter. That's whole butter that's been softened. So you're just going to leave it out for a little while, and all you're going to do is just going to take it, boom, you're going to whisk it in. And you actually will see that thin out. And like I said before, you want to make sure that you add heavy cream because that stabilizes the sauce. And so if you were making a beurre rouge, this would be red as opposed to white. And this is good on chicken, fish, veal, really anything you want to use it on. And you just whisk constantly. And once all that butter is incorporated into that cream, what we're going to do is we're going to just season it with a little salt. We're going to taste it. Always taste everything before you serve it. That way you can season to the point where people don't need a salt and pepper shaker out there. So now that our beurre blanc, all the butter is incorporated into the reduction of white wine, lemon juice, and heavy cream, what we're going to do is we're just going to strain it to get all the shallots out and the tarragon. Just like that. Okay. And what I'm doing here is I'm pressing it through. I'm extracting all the flavor out of the shallots and tarragon, whatever's left from reducing. Just like so. Okay? Now you have a nice velvety white wine butter sauce. Absolutely delicious. And you want to keep this in a warm area so that it won't congeal on you, but not too warm, otherwise it'll break on you. There's nothing worse than having a broken sauce at service time. That butter paper's kept it nice and moist. You can check, you see how we have a little albumin showing up here? That means that it's done. White is albumin and it's the protein in the fish. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take it, put it on a pan like so. Okay, we're going to keep the butter paper on it and we're going to let it rest. Now if you look in here, that's all really, really good flavor. You don't want to throw that flavor out. That incorporated into the succotash is what makes it. So we're going to put our pan back on the fire. We have some sweet corn, fennel, applewood smoked bacon. We're going to add that. Saute that around. And you can just smell that flavor. That fennel just really pops. Now what we're going to add is we're going to add our vermouth. I like to use vermouth because it brings out the flavor in the dish without overwhelming it, like a wine or lemon juice or something of that nature. Okay, now what I'm going to do, since that has the alcohol has burned off, as you saw that flame shoot out, we're going to add our butter beans. And the butter beans have been cooked with ham hock and water, finished with a little diced carrot and chives. Add just a touch of garlic, not too much, because we're going to be adding garlic butter at the end. Okay. Next, we're going to add our local cherry tomatoes grown at Holy City Farms right on Wadmalaw. Green peas from Ambrose Farms. What we want is we want the tomatoes just to wilt. Okay, at this point I'm going to season with just a little bit of salt. Now remember, you want to season as you go. You don't want to, you can always add more, you can't take away. Okay, now that our succotash is hot and we've seasoned it up, what I want to do is I want to taste it. I'd use a little bit more salt. Okay. And I'm going to finish it with some Fiend's herbs. And Fiend's herbs are chervil, chives, tarragon, and parsley. And then I'm going to add our garlic butter. When that butter is all incorporated into it, and the garlic butter is just a compound butter of sweet butter, lemon juice, and white wine with parsley. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to just put it in our bowl. Okay, and now that our grouper has rested, because you never want to cut into something when it's just been cooked. Okay, you want to let it rest, because all that juice you cut into it, all that juice will just run out. I'm going to finish it with our nice beurre blanc sauce just right over top. And there you have it, our grouper over local succotash.